what's fun is this is not something where you put around your waist and do the hula hoop, but you do use the hula hoop for this activity. Helium hula hoop, let's go with our 3 E's. First, our equipment. You will need a hula hoop. I do joke with my participants and say I fill it up with helium, but I'll get to that here in a minute. So you just need a regular old hula hoop. After that, element. This is the element, so let's go to the environment. You guessed it, we've got to check for ants, we've got to check for wasps, we've got to check for the weather, we've got to check for the space above and below us, we've got to look around. The participants are going to be stationary for this activity, so we want to make sure it's a level ground as much as we can. No ants, things like that. If it's mulch, that's fine, but again, check the area where they're going to stand. This one definitely needs to be in the shade. You got to find shade. This is an activity that requires a lot of patience, communication, those big umbrella terms that we've discussed, but can create a lot of conflict. So you don't want them baking in the sun if they're doing this outdoors. Point of the activity, participants will be in a circle, we'll have the hoop up, and the goal is to get it from the beginning point down to the ground when their fists are touching the ground as they're holding it. Participants can make little finger guns like this where the hula hoop can rest on it. In just a moment we'll show you what that looks like. So that's the point of the activity. The challenges now, safety concerns, you don't want people bending over the whole time. You can demonstrate as you're getting lower. You can put a knee on the ground to go down like this. Really it's the emotional safety, people talking to each other. When there's frustration, do you want to do ready circle? That's something that you can always bring back. Again, using that full value contract ahead of time, going, hey, this activity is going to be a challenge. I've got a hula hoop here filled with helium that's going to keep floating. So we need everyone to be on the same page. So if there's a part where you get really frustrated, you're not on the same page, call a ready circle. Remind them of the tools that they have that they can use. Because generally you've sequenced up to something like this. Never start a day with helium hula hoop, okay? But you want to use some of the momentum from success in other programs to give them a really good challenge. So my friend Bob is going to come over here. And again, I would tell the group, hey, let's make a circle. If it's a large group, let's talk about participants. Bob, how many people would you say? 8?
8 to 10.
Yeah, 8 to 10 per hoop.
Yeah,
it depends how big the hoop is. You don't want 15, 20 people trying to squeeze next to each other. This 8 to 10. If you have more groups, you can add more hoops, okay? So I'll have all my participants, they can put their finger, they can do 2 fingers if they want, but no more than that. The fingers have to stay straight up, can't go sideways, can't pitch it, just fingers out, just like this. They all get to a level, and I'll put the hoop up where I want it to be, and then they all put their fingers. And I say, if any point your finger disconnects from the hoop, it's a reset. Talk to them about integrity, owning the game, but what they have to do is simply lower the hoop. Seems pretty seamless for 2 guys like us, but remember, if you see people doing this, remind them it's a reset, and whenever you want to reset, as a facilitator, I'm going to reach in, I'm going to grab the hoop and say, hands down. I'm going to take it away, just remind them of the rules, remind them what they got, say, all right, I'm going to put the hoop here, match your fingers to it, and then begin. What you'll find is once everyone puts their fingers on it, you say begin, the helium starts taking off. They're going to go, whoa, 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 and then you can always take it away or it'll fall down like that. Some safety things, make sure if you're going to grab it, don't grab it and pull it really quickly, just real slow, take it away. You don't want to pop anybody in the chin. Anything else you think you need to add, Bob?
Most of them are going to be pretty close together, so you can get a lot of people in.
Yep, they're going to be close together. This is something that we'll see in class. If there's more than one group, there's some different ways you can have a person in the middle to keep everyone at the same pace, the supervisor. Or if you decide, hey, I want to do 4 or 5 groups and people win, really encourage them. It's not a competition. You want to focus on your group. But if there's a team that wins, make sure you have something for them to do so they're just not hovering watching the other groups. Maybe they go get a water break. Maybe you've got some buzz rings over there to keep them distracted. And then also you want to provide a time limit, because at some point if they're sitting here for 15 minutes and the program doesn't allow for that type of time, might want to conclude it. But the big challenge is once they get to this point, then it starts, again, if someone disconnects, you just got to reset, keep resetting it. That is Helium Hula Hoop. Again, it's going to be really important when you see this in class. The processing piece is going to be a lot of fun, all right? Again, this can bring out a lot of frustration with their communication, how people are saying, this is how it's done, this is how I think it should be done. So have questions for conflict, but also have questions for how do we progress through the success of getting it from point A to point B.